Welcome back guys to Manot Reacts. In this video, you'll be seeing the woman on the left, Batya Ungar Surgon, trying to make a simple argument about words being used too much these days. And the woman on the right, the host, Abby Phillips, completely flips off and tried to misrepresent the position of Batya. And she also instantly went to defending against the position that Batya had. Let's start the video from now.
Starting around 2011, 2012, sociologists started to notice a shift in white liberal opinion polling to where white progressives became more extreme in their views on race than Black and Hispanic Americans. And they called this, the sociologists did, called it the Great Awakening. And when they postulated, where did this come from? Why did white progressives suddenly start obsessing over race in a way that was actually far to the left of where Hispanic and Black Americans were on this issue? They found that the media had shifted radically how it talked about these issues. So for example, in 2000...
Before she gives an example, I just want to say this. Just know this. Remember the argument that she made here. Just remember the argument. That's all I'm asking you to do right now. Her argument is about words, okay?
10, the words white supremacy were mentioned 75 times in the Washington Post and the New York Times.
But the media is different from museums.
In 2020, the words white supremacy were mentioned 700 times in the Washington Post and the New York Times and 2,400 times in NPR. The word racism 4,000 times in 2020. The words white and racial privilege from 2013 to 2019 grew by 1,500% in the New York Times and the Washington Post, and the word slavery itself exponentially skyrocketed as a percentage of words. I'm offering this only to suggest...
I understand. I'm just wondering, what do you think is the problem with talking about slavery, white supremacy, racism, etc.?
So the point I'm trying to make here is that liberals will say, well, this is a reflection of reality, but of course it isn't. This is a reflection of a newfound obsession that was driven by the media, and that doesn't reflect either the moral evil of these things or the historical accuracy.
I do want to dive into what you mean by that, because you say that you don't think it's a reflection of reality. Based on what?
Well, slavery,
based on the idea that those things don't exist, that white supremacy doesn't exist, racism doesn't exist, that we shouldn't be talking about it?
Before she moves on, as you can see, I hope you get what she did there. Did you see that? Instead, as I said you before, remember the argument. The argument was about words, not about denying the things. Now, here's what she did. She assumed that Batya's argument, this is called association fallacy. If I say a very simple example, a very easily understandable example would be if I say, I don't want children in Palestine to die out of starvation. There are some extreme people who's just going to assume that I absolutely hate Israel and the Israel military, which might not be even close. I might love them. One more example. It's like saying I like the Republican values, and I like Republicans because they represent my personal values. Now, someone might just say, you must hate the liberals. No, that's you assuming that I have an extreme position just because I say I like one end of the thing. You just assume, oh, you must hate the other end. No, it doesn't work like that. But that's the assumption game. So she has assumed, just because someone's even questioning the fact that these words, usage among these words among white liberals have increased a lot, and there may be a certain reason for it that we don't know, and there may be a certain reason for it that we don't know yet, and that might not be the reflection of reality because it increased so suddenly. And as the media corporations started using these words, people started using these words often. So maybe it isn't, maybe it isn't like pure natural emotion of people, but more like a manipulated propaganda strategy from these media corporations. It could be anything, but at least she got a point here. And the host completely flips off on her and tries to accuse her of denying these things. Like, what's the idea behind this? Denying that these things even existed? I don't know why she did that. Let's start the video.
And the idea, obviously all these things I think are evil, but there's not more slavery now to the tune of...
But I think part of the problem,
Batya,
is that in the 19... Hold on a second, Bakari. Part of the problem is that back, not that long ago, in the 50s, the 60s, even beyond that, when there was actual Jim Crow happening in this country, people were actually treating black people as second-class citizens. We weren't talking about those things at all.
But in
those words were
2013
virtually never mentioned.
But Abby, you don't
so is
think
that
2013
better? Was it better then, or was it worse
You
then?
don't think that 2013 is the same as the 1960s,
But you're missing,
right?
respectfully, and I've had this debate many
Do you
times.
really think that there's as big a difference between the 1960s and
I don't.
We're missing
That's
the
not my point.
point.
My point is that the use of the language in present day, or the lack of the use of the language back when racism was apparent every single day in the streets of America, doesn't reflect really anything except perhaps a better awareness of the reality that we live in as a country.
That's not the
Do you
point.
think the country was more racist in 2013?
That's not the point.
I didn't say.
Okay, that's the argument that nowadays have shifted from the argument that they were making that actually made sense. Now it's more about what do you think and what do I think. I would like to say this, that when someone makes an argument like this, you know, where they shows the data and where they try to make a point, I think it's better if you let them speak. And you know, if they're wrong, you know, there's the thing about people putting themselves in the grave. You know, if they're really wrong, they actually put themselves in grave themselves. When people don't know where to go with statistics, but they will actually, you know, just say things, and then you will understand that they don't really have a point. You know, this is trying to say statistics. What she was doing here, Bhatia was doing here, was actually making a point that this is what I think she was trying to make, that she didn't say it, but the point that she was trying to make is that these words are exaggeration of reality. She's not saying that things didn't happen. She's saying that things happen and people use the word racism, white supremacy, but because of the media corporation, these words are amplified and now it's over exaggerated and people are using it too much. And that's completely a fair argument to make. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Like, her point is really, really valid here. But from here, the CNN panel argument totally shifted to something else, and it kind of like didn't sit on point. So I can only show you the video till here. But I don't understand one thing. I don't understand why the host Abby Phillips here tries to always make point against people who are trying to talk something bad about the left. Like when in this case, Bhatia, when she tried to make a point against white progressive, it wasn't even a point against them, but it was just a point telling like they started using this word a lot. She just instantly, you know, went on defensive mode. I don't understand that. Maybe that's me having a bias. I want to be very open about that, but I don't know, man. I think she really tried to go against Republicans or something. Whatever. This is just my opinion. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care, everyone, and bye-bye.